His introduction, he mentioned that part of what he's known for is that he does kitchens. But today, kitchens aside, he's focusing on education. The hashtag Take a Kid to School. And we are speaking to the founder there of that initiative, Sabelo Mukabela. Welcome again to the show. Good to have you. I'm glad you're smiling because you're changing lives. Or at least you're hoping to change lives.
I'm hoping to, yeah. Obviously, want to take kids to school, like I've mentioned. And yeah, as many kids as I can,
Yeah.
that'll be great.
So the thing is, many of us think about ideas that we want to do, and it sounds amazing, it looks amazing when we close our eyes, or possibly when we dream about it. But what was the turning point for you where it shifted from just being that idea to actually implementing it?
But that's exactly it. So there's a lot of ideas out there, and people always talk, and so the type of person that I am, I always want to act on whatever that I've said.
Yeah.
So there was no real turning point. I've been talking about this for quite some time. I think in March last year already, I had committed to taking a kid to school. Well, that was in 2019. That was the plan, but the business has made a little bit of money, so I took money from that. Obviously, trying to take a kid to school. And I'd love for the support of the country to obviously help me take the kid to school.
Yeah. So you're saying it started March last year. When it comes to the funding, most of the time people say, yeah, it's so easy to look for other people, knock on other doors, asking for funding to back whatever you want backed. But what are you doing with your resources first before you go outside?
Sorry, can you say that again?
I'm saying most of the time people always say it's so easy for you to go knock on other doors when you're looking for funding, as opposed to what are you doing with your resources first before you go outside and look for that specific funding.
Yeah, like I said, I'm obviously using some of my money as well, or the company's money, and it has been a challenge. I haven't really gone out actively seeking for funds from different companies and so forth. The only thing that I have done is open up this, well, tweet about it and see how much funding I can get.
Yeah.
But yeah, a bit of my resources and yeah, just tweeting.
Basically, from the tweeting that you say you've done and given your social media presence, how much funding have you managed to accumulate in this time?
Yeah, so public funding, I think I got about 11,655, and I put 5,000 of my own money. So in total, I got 16,566. Definitely not enough to take a kid to the school that I want to, or to take as many kids as I can, but it's a start. And yeah, even if it means I have to pay off for someone's, what do you call this thing, outstanding balance so that they can get their results or something, I'm happy to do that. But as long as I'm changing someone's life.
So you're saying 16,000 odd isn't enough, but it is something. We give it the fact that it is something. So what are your targets? How much are you looking for? How many children do you want to take through school? What are the numbers?
Yeah, so yes, 16,000 is a lot of money, especially because I'm only asking for 10 Rand. So yeah, people have been donating a lot of 10 Rands, other people are a little bit more, what do you call this thing? They give a bit more than the 10, which I appreciate, the 10 Rands as well. But I want to take a kid to primary school, I want to take a kid to high school, I want to take a kid to varsity. That would have been a perfect start for me. But obviously the funds will determine how many people we're taking to school, yeah, and what kind of school we're taking the kid to.
And then when it comes to identifying who it is that you can take through the school process, from your primary to your high to your varsity, how does that criteria process work?
Yeah,
the selection process, how do you go about it?
I needed to stay away from this, so like I didn't want to seem as if I'm biased.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 people from Twitter, all strangers, people that are really, really keen on helping with the initiative. So we created a WhatsApp group, so there's 5 of them, and a further 2 auditors. They're the panel of judges who are going to select who is going to school. But yeah, the criteria that was agreed on was poor kid, so they must be from a disadvantaged background. And obviously results. I'm gonna get a lot of applications, so to obviously to distinct who is the better candidate. The only other criteria that we could use was the results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know the school calendar is starting pretty soon.
Yeah.
So how soon are you going to be taking, be it 3, 5, 10 students through school? Because right now, as you said, you got 16,000+.
Yeah.
Probably by the end of the day, it might move up to 20, maybe even beyond that.
Yeah.
So with the money you have now, and given the fact that day one is starting around the corner, when will you start giving out this cash to help the child go through school?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that in the next 2 weeks. But obviously I still want to collect as much as I can. aggressively collect, and yeah, so maybe by next week Friday,
Mhm.
yeah, give the check to whoever the beneficiary will be from those public funds.
Mhm. Right, those who have quite a bit of money and they also want to change their life, they're all about doing good for humanity. How can they get hold of you? What are your platforms? Social
Yeah.
media, emails? How do you go about doing that?
The hashtag is Let's Take a Kid to School. My name on Twitter is Sabelo Mkabela. And yeah, so I post everything. I post the bank account details or the initiative. So I've been keeping people aware of what is happening every single day. I'll give progress reports, telling them how much has been donated, how many donations we've received, the banking details as well. They're always there. But yeah, if you look for the hashtag Let's Take a Kid to School, you'll have all the information that you need.
When it comes to money, I would imagine there's never a closing date. I mean, money is welcome any day, all day. But now when it comes to the application side of things, is there a closing date? Can the students still apply for the 2018 calendar year, or do they need to wait till possibly next term, next semester? How does it work?
Yeah, so this is not a once-off thing. We'll keep doing this, well, indefinitely. But for this calendar year, after I've given up the check for, what do you call this thing, for 2018 in next week, and then I think the next beneficiary will only be announced next year.
Okay.
But yeah, for this year, next week we'll be closing. So we'll still be collecting funds, but...
Yeah, hence I said the money. There's never an end date there, because we always need the money.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so it's going to be an annual initiative. So for 2018, you said next week you're closing.
And depending on the success, if we start collecting money aggressively, and then I don't mind taking kids to school second semester as well. But just looking at how things are going right now, it looks as if it's just going to be an annual funding thing.
And then you were based in Gauteng. Are you only looking to fund children in Gauteng, or is it nationwide?
To be quite honest with you, like I said, I want to change lives, especially the lives of the disadvantaged. And in Joburg or in Gauteng, we have it a little bit easier than the other provinces. So you get your Eastern Capes where there's really poor people out there. It's just very new and very hard to control if it's someone outside of Gauteng at the moment. But ideally, I would love to take a kid to school that side of the world. Eastern Cape, your KZNs, your Mpumalangas, that's who I actually want to target the most. Yeah.
So you mentioned the word control. So one would imagine, so it's not about just giving the money. Are you going to be checking the academic records as well?
That's exactly.
Once you have parted with the check.
That's exactly what I want to do. So we already have tutors, people who are willing to contribute time. I want to make sure that this kid passes. I don't just want to give them money and let them be on their own. Yeah, I want to help them. So that's what I mean by control. There'll obviously be feedback sessions, going to the house, checking whether the kid is still doing great or not. Yeah, so that's what I mean by control.
All right. So I guess, unfortunately our time is done. But if someone just basically latched on the conversation towards the end and they missed the contact details of how you can help with funding, or possibly if they're looking for funding themselves, please can you give us those platforms again?
All right. So Twitter, Sabelo Mkabela, that's spelled Mkabela. My cell phone number, you're more than welcome to WhatsApp, 071-258-2173. I'll repeat, 071-258-2173. For all funding, you can send an email to sabelo.mkabela@icloud.com. I already have a lot of applications, but I'm willing to take a lot more. Yeah.
Well, all the best to you. When you do things that involve education, you've done everything right already. So I'm hoping that as it stands right now, it's only an annual basis, but may it grow from strength to strength and be something that you'll implement throughout the entire year.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.